Where's the from the people? Democrat, where's the from the people?
And listen, me check with Mr. President seat. Him check with your seat.
Can't take you. The man beat you the other day.
Huh?
He beat you.
No, sir. You know, sir, me have my pocket in, me have a squad and
We'll give them some broadcasting excellence and never say yes.
Alright, cool. I got religious and all of you.
I'm say, let's do it.
Yeah, we're gonna religious for everybody. Especially them Zocrats.
And a religious.
Okay.
It's righteous.
Righteous.
And a religious.
Yes.
A righteous with
Yes.
that.
Can't bother with them.
Righteous.
Man, man.
that's
What's your name? Paris.
Wait, hold up now, hold up.
When we done the sheep.
Why are we going all the way to Aris?
Personal no sense. No sense at all.
They don't want the woman to become president. They're not going to make sure get it. They're rather string Biden along or torpedo the election. They're rather lose a term.
You know me not like man. How them just go after certain people so. We not
No, opportunity. Sure, start.
Why? Push this up in everything now.
Push it in.
Hey, woman, you're supposed to know about that already. You have one now. Thank you. Yes,
The views expressed on this
really well
are
put.
those of its hosts and callers.
You're too
Does
bad.
not reflect the views of this station, its management, or any other on-air personality. The views expressed. This is
That's why I'm trying
and
to
listen to the president. Super Jams Radio.
You know, so some people some people think you don't understand.
Really?
I don't know.
Who would ever tell them?
Yeah. Hip, hip.
Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to Super Jams Radio. Oh, you can't hear yourself, so. Stop around I might have low.
Turn it up.
Hold on, we have a different engineer. Hold on, I'm an engineer, but we can't start. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome. Pull the tape, please. Good evening. All right, we're gonna reset and recall again.
All I'm full of. No more.
All right, I think we got it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We have a new engineer, ladies and gentlemen. It's just upgrade the seat. And Dr. Francis is a little bit upset, saying, "Oh, yeah, you're not my Ghana." But let me tell you this. Nashika, congratulations on being in the big boys chair.
Well, thank you very much. And Dr. Francis, thank you so much for allowing me to sit on this side of the studio.
You are ever so welcome, and you don't even understand how well you are welcome.
Well, you say a long time you try to move on beside Mr. President.
No, man, it's not something it is. I will
I
tell you.
like the new vibes there. I like the new
Yeah.
vibes. I like it.
You know something, I can't tell you the real story, but eventually I will share the story with you.
Oh.
All right? Okay, I'm fine.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you're liking what you're hearing on this side or on your side. So, good evening and welcome to Good Evening, Mr. President. This is the President Lincoln. I have inside the studio the good doctor making house calls today.
You are welcome, Mr. President. thank you very much for encouraging me. I tell you, I have good stories over the weekend in terms of some people that I met. And I hope that they're listening in today and they're spreading the good word out there. One is as close as Jupiter. The other one is not on Jupiter in the, the cyberspace, but he's very much in the United States in Chicago. So
Shy
I'm
town, big up yourself,
I
Chicago.
am in. I am hailing up Dennis Sutherland and Carla right here.
Hey, hold on. You can't talk about Chicago. A couple of times I got Chicago. You know. So
And
I'm a cousin them. All the Louis Breed them at Chicago. I talk about them at Evanston. Evanston, right near the
we know about
university.
Evanston. We know about
Listen. I'm my town that. You hear me?
Listen to me. If I was smart enough when I was offered a seat on the World Chicago Board of Trade, I should have taken it. I got that offer in 1972, but I went to the army instead. Believe that? Believe it or not? And that was from the actual guy who was running it at the time. One, yeah. That's it, my brother.
Hey, listen, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Rupert Francis has some of the best stories.
And he's passing on some great opportunities.
I
You
tell you
know
what Jimmy
what
said.
Jimmy said? Listen, if you mention
Anything,
anything,
yes.
Dr. Francis have already done it. So what is that? Remember the last time we done an Iraq, right?
When you sit down at Iraq?
No, man, you didn't do an Iraq.
No.
I mean,
No. I was never in Iraq, but I would invite my brother Jimmy to Google Mr. Patrick Arbor, Arbor, was a former mayor of Wilmette in Chicago, and he brought to my event in Upper Camp George Seals. Remember that name? One of the greatest footballers ever out of the Chicago Bears. George Seals. He came down to my party in Jamaica. Trust me. Yeah.
Seals.
I,
Ladies and gentlemen, if Dr. Rupert first wedding, at 21 gun salute, and not only that, the man married the daughter of an officer, first officer. So under the British system, it's a royal thing, it's a royal regatta, right? It's a thing where everything is top tier. Like a little too high for me. I might want to turn up on the year. That's a good look. I'm a new engineer. She works still. I have a career card. So if you hear me a career card, don't think it's unprofessional. It's just.
She's learning a new trade.
Yes.
absolutely.
And we're also moderating what is happening in the studio.
Doing a
So
good
when you
job.
hear the ovulation of the voice, you're like, oh, high pitch coming out. And we're like, yeah, something's happening. We're training the new engineer. Nashika, how was your weekend?
Oh my gosh, my weekend was just absolutely amazing.
All right.
You want to
She
know
get up
more,
eating.
don't
Of course.
She get up
Absolutely amazing.
She get up boss ass. But that's
Yeah,
Well, actually,
listen.
I'm here with that chair.
Did I?
Remember that video? Remember that social media video?
Which
Where
one?
the guy had the chair and then
Okay.
he used it when like all the black people and like attack all the black people.
Well,
I saw her with the chair and I'm like, oh my god.
you think I was
She's in
coming?
trouble today. She's in trouble today. Like, why is she walking with a chair? And
Okay.
it's a folding chair. So she came in and I was like, hey, cool, Mr. President, you know, you have a team for you, but don't get panicked. You've not done her anything wrong. So I said, okay. Take a deep breath. I said, Nashika, I'm glad she had it. So now she came up with this great story. Everybody's gonna love. Tell us about that shit, Nashika.
Okay, so today in the state of Texas, a court hearing is happening with Houston Justice et al. Versus Abbott, U.S. Western District Court. And basically, this hearing is about maintaining persons' right to vote. Kind of like what we had in Florida quite recently when we had redistricting and we were having voter suppression. So that's what the hearing is today in Texas. So our dear Sarah Shirley Chisholm, who was also a legislator for the United States, she had a famous saying, and it's simple: if they don't give you a seat at the table, bring your own chair. So it has nothing to do with what happened the
Hey,
other day.
listen. You know
What?
what's funny, Doctor?
Yeah.
Dr. Francis, it's not only you who have amazing stories. I actually met the husband,
Mr. Chisholm.
Mr. Chisholm. He lives right here in West Palm Beach.
Yes, he was a very good friend of my dad. And if you ask my dad, he always said, Mr.
I
Chisholm,
was his
love you,
personal
Nashika.
technological consultant.
Yes.
I provide technical consulting for him while he was here. And let me tell you this, that gentleman is, he talked a lot of great story about Mr. And you really to the end really love her, and he just think that she did well, and he's proud of her, even though things never work out for them. But it's a great little story. When you say he's close to your dad,
Yes, he was very close to my dad. I remember when I came to America, meeting him. He was a very good friend of my dad, and my dad would always tell me, "Mr. Chisholm, I tell you hi." And I remember when he had passed away, my dad had notified me. So yes, never met Mrs. Chisholm because Sarah Chisholm, sorry, because they were divorced by the time that I had met him. But it is good to have had that connection with her. But most importantly, the
six
fact that
degrees of separation.
I'm telling you, and it really is true. The science are actually researching that and
Actually, they're
finding
saying now with
information.
social media, it's 4 degrees.
Exactly, but
4 degrees of separation.
Well,
Can you imagine?
whether it's a 4 degrees, I think it's 100 degrees really. Social media, it can be a blessing and it can be a big curse.
Is it social media or is it the aggregation of data or data is leveraged? Well, hold on, let me say this to you first. From my technical background,
Mm-hmm.
ladies and gentlemen, most of you don't come here and do this often, but others are telling me I should do it more often.
Mm-hmm.
From the position of an IT consultant, I've been in the tech business for over 21 years.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk a little bit about 9/11 today.
Oh yeah, I'd love to
Oh
talk
my
about
goodness.
9/11. But let's not go there yet. Let's deal with the AI situation.
No.
And you being an expert.
Yes.
And
So as it relates to data,
mm-hmm.
right? When you say social media is dangerous, it's not the fact that people are making connections with people that bothers you. What bothers you is the mass distribution of lies, mistruths, artificial or fabricated stories, and those things annoy anybody because that's how human beings are. From the playground, kids were teasing people, wanting to win proximity. Now that they have a big old internet, they can be like here and teasing somebody in Chicago. If they're a bully, they're going to be a bully, Dr. Francis. But that's not what I want the people to worry about.
Mm-hmm.
What I want the people to worry about is what's coming down the street in the next 5 to 10 years. Something called quantum computing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you know about PDK,
what's
right?
a PDK?
It's about the pay grade. But, ladies and gentlemen, the only way you can safeguard data is through encryption.
Mm-hmm.
And it is the data is where the goal is.
Mm-hmm.
So now with all of these social media companies are aggregating these data, and you're using these language model AIs like ChatGPT to literally absorb all of that. After you've trained it in certain sequence, so you can give ChatGPT human question about emotion, intent, certain profession you want. Like for example, I use ChatGPT as a tool. It can't replace human beings. So people talk about AI to replace people. What you do, you leverage AI to help you and to facilitate. Because I was able to pull an HTML script Saturday night. Because I was like, how do I make an HTML script? And I was like, open AI. So I opened up ChatGPT and I was typing and said, how do I make an HTML script to insert a form? And it was like, 2 seconds. And I got the code and I pasted it in my webpage and I was done.
Listen to me.
I
have no problem.
Python?
No, ChatGPT
can do anything.
It can actually literally train you even to be some of the better Python writers.
Well, can I say this to you? Yes, but there's also something called plagiarism. And I'm not talking about the use of it. I'm talking about the misuse of it. And to be quite honest with you, what the people are doing and saying they're all that, you need to check the origin of their work because I love writing and I love the idea of writing and so on and so forth. But I had to write so much myself and think for myself when I did my doctorate that it's really an abuse to me when somebody comes and they say, I was just 2 months and I did my doctorate. Sorry about that.
I'm right there with you.
So the point,
Dr. Francis, hold on. Ladies and gentlemen, you can't stop this train, bro.
No, that's not. No. But Mr. President, hold on, you hold on. No, Mr.
You're having the
President.
type of
Mr.
outrage that can
No, Mr. President, Mr. President, Mr. President, Mr. President, Mr. President, Mr. President, I am on, yes, I'm on the podium, sir. I am on the podium, sir. Point of order, point of order, point of order. No. Mr. President, I was on a roll and I was saying, please not preempt me like the AI. When I go there to write a sentence, it's writing for me. That cannot be good.
That
So
is
we're
great.
how do you want this great? Oh my God, Mr. President. What?
Ladies and gentlemen, there's two situations.
What's that?
Number one, you talk
What?
about plagiarism.
Yes.
And then you talk about you doing your work and then someone just comes with the blues and
Yes.
cite your work.
Yes.
And first of all,
You can say it. You want to give me credit for
anybody
it.
can cite your work.
So long as you give me credit
Right.
for it.
But hold on. If you are requesting something from ChatGPT and you say citation needed, right? At the end of that, you get all the annotation of the citation where they aggregate the ideas from. So what you're doing now, you're just going to not use exactly what ChatGPT put out. What you're going to do, you're going to use ChatGPT to shape a thought that you're having. So, for example, you want to know something about something. Well, you don't know how to use it. The biggest problem is that people don't know how to leverage it.
Mr. President.
So they become fearful of something
Mr.
that
President.
they can leverage
Mr.
to enhance
President.
their abilities.
Okay,
You
so
know
that
me.
on
Hold
your
on.
side, Mr.
Go ahead.
President,
Go ahead.
you're looking at it as a tool, but even in academia, some of the professors and so on are saying people are using ChatGPT to write their projects for them, which I think that is
That's
what Dr.
unethical.
Francis is saying.
It is unethical. No,
Right.
the school has to figure out plagiarism because AI is not going away. The school has to figure out how to mitigate plagiarism. That's their job. But hold on. But you can't deny the tool
Mr.
because one
President.
profession has a problem
Mr.
of how to
President.
figure it out.
Mr. President, you are an AI expert. And I came on and I said I put out there that I'm an AI expert. And these are my thoughts on AI and the most important and the thoughts and so on. And I lit them out there as good or better than you. Right? Now, is that correct? Is that right? Mr. President, I know you better than that. I know you better than that no matter what you tell me. We have to understand that there's a
What's
right
your problem
and a
with
wrong.
AI? Give me one problem that's wrong with AI.
I don't have a problem with
Give me
AI.
one.
Why do you still have a problem with it? I don't have a problem.
Okay, tell me how AI plagiarize works like your dissertation.
Well, I'm going to read a poem to you that I did on 9/11. How many years ago? Many years ago. I wrote it within 5-7 minutes. I wrote it, and I was just going through a little while and put in there and to bring up the topic, and it had about 10, 15, 20 different topics on the same thing. But luckily, I wrote it, and so they could rewrite it. So what I'm trying to say to you,
I'm going to do one.
Go
What
ahead.
I'm going to do? What I'm going to do?
Go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Yes.
me, the president, inside the resident, I'm going to do something with Dr. Francis and I realize what the team of the president said I have to listen to it. Besides the voice of a prophet I speak to every time I speak. Listen, I'm going to use ChatGPT. I'm going to write a poem about 9/11 in less than 5 seconds in the voice of Marcus Garvey. I'm going to use it live on radio.
And you're saying to me that is genuine Marcus Garvey and I'm grave and come write it for
Watch this now.
Are you with me?
Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
You know the reason why I love the philosophies and opinion of Marcus Garvey.
Why?
By the way, in the month of October, ladies and gentlemen, programming note, every Monday on Good Evening, Mr. President, we're going to answer, we're going to define, according to the philosophies and opinion of Marcus Garvey book, in section 1, we're going to define a word each week. You know, sometimes it's a phrase, as you know, those of you have read it, but we're going to define the word. So when you use, like, for example, the word slavery, that Monday when we come, we're going to focus on one word, and everybody on the team is going to get a chance to read it ahead of time. And then through the voice of Marcus Garvey, through his books and his recorded work, we are going to read you his thoughts on those particular subjects. Now, as it relates to the voice of Marcus Garvey and AI, all of these works are digested in a great database. No matter how you want to do it, somebody out there has the text version or a PDF version of the philosophies and opinion of Marco Bus on some website or in some public place. So what ChatGPT do, they have a crawler, they go out and they grab all of that, bring it back into themselves, digest it. And so you have a full copy in itself of what the philosophies and opinion of Marcus Garvey is. So when you say that the master digest all of the speeches of Marcus Garvey with version to them and text of those speeches and they transcribe them. Because when they put it on YouTube, there's a transcription that takes place. So now you have multiple copy and then you focus on voice inflection. So they can now use tone and other different type of way the human being use the voice to interpret a thought or a feeling. So now we put all of that in one big computer, and that computer then when you say in the voice of Marcus Garvey, 5 seconds, you say, what me say? 5 seconds.
Right.
Let's hear you. Let's hear you. Let's hear you.
All right. We're going to do it. I mean, if you do it in the bars, at least me have to get
Hold on.
ChatGPT.
Hold on.
That-
A minute
that's
is
posing a
60
problem
seconds.
also.
You said 5 seconds. So you're
But Dr.
only.
Francis,
What?
that is posing a problem also because in addition to that, what you find is that people are using this to take someone else's voice
Exactly.
and create a song. So someone could say, okay, create a song, write a song, put it in, and have a Beyonce singing it. And yeah, so it's the same issue. You have copyright laws, you have infringement, you have all these things that come out with these AIs.
You
Now,
know,
to
I am
Dr.
very
to Mr.
surprised
President's point.
at you, Mr. President.
No, but to his point, we
No.
can't stop it. We've already
Oh, no,
opened
I am not
Pandora's
saying
box.
no, but Pandora wrong.
Me know it's wrong, but it's
What I
open.
am trying to say to you, ladies and gentlemen, listen to me now. There can't be two rights and two wrongs, and what is either right or wrong. And a lot of people are thinking that you can have right and wrong at the same time. It's impossible. All I'm trying to say in a more eclectic way is to say, look, we have to have standards. We have to teach our children standards. We have to teach the future and what have you standards. And it's only when we can maintain those standards for everybody, not just for anybody specific, then that is where it comes in. I have no problem with the ingenuity of man to be able to do what. But I'm going to share with you a poem that I wrote in exactly 7 minutes without AI at the time. Immediately, I was in class and I wrote this one. You understand me? I had to redo all my class over again by the way I came from Jamaica. They wouldn't even take one of my credits. Okay? So I'm telling you. And I'm not making it up, Mr. President. You know that. When I look at you over there smiling at me, I know that I am right. You don't smile at me unless I'm right. So no matter what it is.
All right. Nashika is about to read the poem written by ChatGPT about Marcus Garvey before the program closes.
No, I thought you were gonna put it so we can hear it in his voice. Because as I'm looking
Oh,
at
no,
it,
no. That's a different one. You have to use that. There's a website called There's an AI for that. You can go to that website. The website called There is an AI for that. You go there, you find out different type of AIs you can leverage in the different business processes. But read more.
so the tower fell, the world shook, a tragedy that left us all hooked. The pain and loss we felt that day still lingers on in every way. But we must rise and stand up tall, for we are stronger than it all. We'll rebuild and we'll unite and never give up the fight for freedom, justice, and equality, and the pillars of our society. And though we may stumble and fall, we might rise again, standing proud and tall.
Hi, this is Susan from Reach FM in Kingston, Jamaica.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm working on the other side, so I kind of get my body adjusted.
Hold on.
No,
Before you rap too much, I want to go on the heels of that. It's a beautiful poem.
Written by AI.
Written by AI, but I
In
want
like
you now
no
to
time.
listen to a poem written by I.
If you can do it in 30 seconds, let's do it.
I only mean it's written. I wrote it
In
already.
7 minutes, but can you say it in 30 seconds? I don't think so.
What do you mean by saying? Why you want me to say
Let's
it?
set the break for the
No,
4:30. Since you don't have 30
30
seconds.
seconds. Are you crazy?
Yeah, of
I
course.
got
You give time and build the thing.
that's the sex generated, brethren.
I mean, you can't rush the thing. How much I rush the thing?
I am not rushing anything.
So on the other side of the 30-minute, Dr. Francis will be presenting his 7-minute poem.
Yes.
on 9/11.
And I gave it an extra couple minutes because it was less, but I just for the
And ladies and gentlemen, I have some great 9/11 stories. I'm going to tell you that also.
Okay, I was in class.
You can't talk yet, Bridget. We're going to ask the question. Where were you, ladies and gentlemen, when the world stopped turning that September day? That's the question we're going to ask him when we come back. Where were you on 9/11?
And our sincere condolences still for those we lost on the hill.
Yes, sir.
And that was 1 second, by the way.
That September day. It's a very important day in the psyche of America. A lot of people were born. A vast, well, let me not say vast majority of the population, but at least about what 18, 22-ish% of the population weren't even around when 9/11 happened. And it's just like Vietnam for some people, World War II or World War I for some others, and we lose those people over a period of time. But it's how the memory of 9/11 will be passed on and carried on. It's going to be important.
Mm.
You know, just right after the towers fell, everyone was reverent. America was like the America everybody wanted. Everybody was kind. Everybody was good. Everybody was
Not in all areas.
was friendly. What I see, I felt a certain type of unity, camaraderie. I felt a certain type of, you know, I, the best way to talk about my patriotism as it relates to the patriotic values that was inculcated in me as a result of that is 9/11 because I came here 1 year to the date of 9/11. In 2000, 9/11, I set foot first on this American side. That would make it 23 years I've been here today. Today. Now, when I talk about the important significance of 9/11, the show today also fall on 9/11.
Yeah.
No. We need to talk about.
Well, I mean, I understand it. I have my point.
Yeah, you make it a point.
No, but me want to. No, but me not say no.
You say you're cutting on me 45 seconds. Still at 45 seconds to wrap up my part before your part home. You didn't let me finish, good man.
We have callers on the line.
I know the people are calling.
I'm sure the people are more important than that 45 minutes. You can go and talk.
It's 45 seconds.
Seconds, whatever.
Call in live with the president. Good afternoon. How are you? Yes, sir. What about you?
Wow. Look, he missed the plane.
The day before. You know
And where you came from?
No, New York, man.
New York.
So which part of New York you used to live?
Wow.
Brooklyn and Queens, man. Big up them two boroughs. Yeah. Big up New York. Every New York people move from New York. I love New York. Big up. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That's a story.
I tell you something. That story is
But
a rough one.
we're gonna talk about 9/11 and dissect it in a minute. But you know what that reminds me of 9/11 again. The day before. The day before. Gilbert.
Yes.
Just like when you come in the day before 9/11, I saw the day before Gilbert.
Let me tell you, but we didn't know about Gilbert before.
Let me tell you. But imagine how you feel when you know this time. But think about the day when everybody are prepared, you have to nail up, you have to bold up. Because 9/11 You knew the storm was coming. But when the
Well,
people in I talk,
Had no
they
idea.
had no idea.
no, but hold
When
on,
you think
hold
it's
on, hold on.
peace and safety.
No, it's not destruction. But let me say this to you, Mr. President. And I mean, it grieved me to the point that man could be so unjust to man that they take life so simply. And that's one of the things that has really impacted on me over the past week and some of the things that I've been doing. Because, in every instance that they take it, whether it's slavery. When I talk about slavery, I don't talk about slavery because black people are in slavery. I talk about the impact of it on the world, and instead of thinking about what we went through, it's the impact should it happen again. The impact on the Jews, the impact on the police, whoever has suffered, like these people that had nothing to do, basically, with and for somebody to sit there and do that, it is beyond comprehension, let's put it that way. And it's for that reason why I want to share with you on that particular day, I was in class when they started to broadcast it on our computers. 9/11. I came here 2 years before you did, and I was there trying to get my first degree. And this is what my impression was at when I think. And I'm going to tell you another story, remind me, a quick one.
Yes.
But I'm going to read this to you. It's called Torn Between Two Worlds. And it says, An Assault on Freedom's Friend. That's another interpretation. Sanity or insanity, who am I? I claim to be freedom's friend, and even though I destroy, so who am I? By what right do I destroy that which I did not build? September 11 I'll always remember. I will remain forever, it will remain forever embedded in the portals of my mind, captured in my heart, and echoed and etched in my soul. The unlikely, unwilling tools of destruction's terrible roar, silence now but still heard. The smoke will, I cannot read it here, echo in the eerie voice from ground zero, almost gone, whilst brave men and women in sorrow and pain still move along this hallowed ground, wishing and hoping that they had not seen the horrific assault on freedom's brightest star. Grieve, my friend, but not too much. And in your grieving, say a silent prayer, not for the dead, but for the living, for they must do what is right and not necessarily with might. That, my friend, was the poem that I wrote in that time and time frame. And I want to say this to you. After that, I went to the blood bank. I have what is called ORH, negative blood. That means I'm a universal donor. I can give anybody, but unfortunately, only a few people can give to me who have that type of blood. And I went to the blood bank. It was full because everybody was required to give blood at the time. And everyone in that room, everybody that did not look like me, there was nobody looking like me, looked at me when I said I came to give blood, and I just walked out because there was no way I could cut through that. Are you with me? And now, never a word was spoken. I'll never forget that. Yes. And I was.
I need to get that.
Yes.
You walk into give.
Absolutely.
Tragedy.
Yes.
You walk into give.
Yes.
And the location you walk in
yes.
was open to the general public.
Absolutely.
So open to the general public, you walk in as a patriotic American.
Yes.
Trying to give blood.
Yes.
When you walk in there, your blackness got a hold of you.
I think it was also my accent.
No, you got scared and run out.
I did not get scared. I don't get scared.
No,
you don't get Mr. President. No.
I think he felt
You
it
don't
was.
understand.
I think
If you
he felt
listen
he
to
wasn't
the
welcome. He felt
if
he
you
wasn't
listen to
welcome.
my poem, I wrote it before I went there, by the way. But in essence, it was prophetic because I'm saying to you that we never your idea of coming together and what have you was not. I was in California, one of the most liberal states, and yet that happened to me. I will never forget. No, what I'm saying to you, you can interpret it in any way you wish, okay? But this is the first time I'm saying it on radio, the very first time.
All right, calling your live with the president. Good afternoon. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. I know. Yeah.
So instead of getting burned, the people that jump
Oh
over.
yeah.
But no, hold on. I have a theory. I've never tested it publicly, but I really, Carla, appreciate your input, man. And that's such a wonderful personal experience.
Thank you very much. I know it must hurt even thinking about it, but I did what it is. Thank you. I want to give a shout out to all those who are listeners, the listeners today. Go ahead. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. You are, yes. I was in New York. Yes, yes. Thank you, my brother. I write poetry all the time, and sometimes when I'm in the
Yeah, morning after. Yeah, that's the first. Yeah, the morning after. That's what we talk about Gilbert. Yeah, put in the morning after. You gotta be, yeah, exactly. Good point, Uncle Pete. She said,
well,
this here Canada for the quarter
let's
of
look
an
at
hour.
no. Let's just thank the Lord for this gentleman on the phone because he could have been in one of those aircrafts. Not that I'm saying.
Yeah, man,
And just,
his father is the hero in the
no,
story.
no, but also think about it. Fate would have it
Mm-hmm.
that he didn't take a flight. I assume he took a flight here when he did, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if he did, I mean, it was anybody's game because remember they were putting that other plane on the I think the Pentagon, and the guys rushed them and they went into the field. It's a rough thing, rough thing. You ever remember that? Yes.
Well, rough. Well, Carl, appreciate your input again. All right, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Good Evening, Mr. President. Welcome to your favorite program on your favorite radio station, Super Jazz Radio. I am so happy you're here with us. And by the way, I am absolutely delighted that you consider this your favorite radio program. Now, that's a big deal.
No, hold on, Mr. President. I have to tell you this one, and I have to give out a shout out to Chase Bank and Wells Fargo Bank. I went into the bank, and I know the ladies listening to us right now. And I was doing my own business. I don't have the money in the bank, basically. I was there joking with the teller, you know what I mean? I said, well, all I have when there was a few dollars. And a lady came to me and said, oh, so it's you. I said, me what? You are on the Good Evening, Mr. President. I said, how the heck did you know that? She said, I heard your voice. Okay. And after that, everybody in there came and said, hello, so Mr. President, I'm getting your accolades, Mr. President. So let's have a round of applause. So I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, she's out there. I want to give a shout out to Donna and Kimmy and all those people and this lady who, I mean, I'm telling you, it was something else. I didn't know that I had celebrities at your time next.
No, listen, man. A lady was telling me over the weekend. She said, I just love Nashika.
Oh,
She's my
really?
new favorite person. And
Okay.
then she was like, I love the way she defended the women. We talked about relationship last week.
Uh-huh.
And then all of a sudden, she's like, she's my new best friend. Nashika. I'm like, no, President, no, Francis. No, it's like Nashika. So it's all right, it's all good.
Women's right and libs.
And not only that, though, I do think
Uh-huh.
just your perspective, your smarts, your stick to itness, because you actually try to be an advocate for people, and you don't give that up.
Hold on. Why you going on? Hold our head for me. Can we see that rise over this? You understand? Oh, by the way, I'll tell you a joke. Somebody called me. I'll tell you this quick one. Oh, 2 seconds. Somebody called me. And I was speaking as because I didn't know the number. And I was speaking quick the Queen's
Mhm.
And then the person said, you know, to make it, yeah, man, I'm starting Lego some factor, and that's how we broke the ice. Go ahead, my friend.
Carla, you live with the president. Good evening.
Thank you, my friend. Appreciate
You have to do that.
it. Okay. But no,
What I can tell you. No, hold on, hold on. Peter, I know this is where you specialize. No, Peter, we know what you're going to do.
no.
Ladies and gentlemen, hold on. Yeah, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Peter Wheelhouse. This is where conspiracy theory is twisted and mad conjectures are made. Are you ready for Peter's Wheelhouse?
not me. Not me. Me okay, hold on. Me and him, let us get it quite clear. Me and him is good friends. But sometimes it comes so far over the left field. Me can't go there with him. You understand what I'm saying to you? But anyway, you go
You're a
on.
British trained military officer based on the European concept.
You see, that's every time you come with that, come talk about some is European
And
and
don't
this and
forget that
that.
he's a
No,
Republican.
Constantine was the first one to take the job. Constantine took the job. Oh, by the way, first of all, hold on. Constantine, I'm super concerned about the quality of the phone call. Is the call quality scratchy like them kind of when you call you can't really hear nothing what we have said? Is it scratchy or is it tolerable? All right, good. We want to make sure that.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
But,
Go
but
ahead,
listen,
Steve.
but Peter, before you go anywhere,
Hold on, go
before
ahead,
you go,
Peter. Go
hold
ahead,
on,
Paul. Come back, Peter. Come back, Paul.
yo, we need to put
Wait, hold on.
we need to put that sound
You
effect for
still
that.
have not said what you were doing on 9/11.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
9/11.
Exactly.
You're letting them run away with the show.
Yeah, they might go with the thing. Yeah,
I was in New York.
no, hold on, man. No,
Hey, you sure
the
say
thing,
you
man.
sure say you went on one of the plane?
Couldn't take away Mr. President's show.
He jump off before the
Nashika,
plane
Take
crash.
control, Mr. President.
No, I don't mean to make
you
light of it,
notice,
but
you notice when me over there, some mute the mic.
Oh, all right.
And I run,
Wait,
don't
wait.
mute it. Okay, know your mic. I know my mic.
All right.
So the mic gone. That's a Francis.
Mm.
Peter, say something. Nashika, say something.
Medea.
All
All
right,
right.
okay. Where were you
On
on
9/11.
9/11?
So, 9/11, when it was on the television, I was actually walking out of my hotel to be picked up by my driver
Which city?
in Austin, Texas, and I heard the commotion to my right, and I thought it was replay from Monday Night Football. So I got out the
So
building.
was that when you were general secretary? Because I know
Oh,
you
no,
let
no,
they
man.
give bodyguard a couple of things in
No,
those
yeah,
days.
wait,
But
no, man.
okay, well, finish.
So got to my driver. She took me to my destination, which was the capital of Texas in Austin. And as we walked in, um, the reception was, "We're under attack." And me being me, I was young, dumb, and feisty. My response is that the way you speak to somebody you just met? And she turned it around and said, "No." So my first thought is, "Oh my God, we're under attack. They've attacked Washington, they've attacked New York, and here I am standing in the capital of Texas when our new president is from this building."
Texas.
Oh my God, how fast can I get out?
Who is
So
that? This new president?
it was Bush at the time.
George, you were standing near to George Bush?
No, I was standing where Bush used to be.
You were in the bush.
I was
Not
I
in
was
the, okay,
I was
I
in
got
I
you.
was
I
in
got you.
Texas,
Okay, I asked the
the
question.
capital in Austin, Texas, for a meeting there at the Capitol. So, needless to
Lord.
say, because we thought we were under attack generally,
Mhm.
if they've hit the.
I was on Jupiter Island.
Oh, you were hanging out.
So actually, I was being introduced to the affluent society
Okay.
to see the vast wealth at the time was the richest zip code in America.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody.
It is still is rich, one of the richest.
No, that's where I was. And it was 1 year after I came here,
Mhm.
Paul wants somebody else. Paul, what you like? Paul, wait, Paul, you can't come in so hard. I'm going to mute your line until you calm down. So I was on Joe time. So no, I was there with a gentleman named Derek.
Mhm.
So he was the one that I accompanied here because we were doing, as I said, I'm in the high-end IT sector. So we were doing some project schematics at that. 1 year since I come in the country, right? So I stepped out of the van. And once I stepped out on the courtyard of that property, there's another guy named Joe, who was a good guy. He used to live off Military Trail. He drove another vehicle. So he run out and was like, we're under attack. They just took down the towers. And you should see the white guy turn purple.
Mhm.
And I was like, okay, I couldn't connect.
Yeah.
Because at the time, 1 year in, just I tried to assimilate myself in American society because I didn't know as much about America as I do now being a United States citizen. But coming from Jamaica, I realized that the first couple of months and years is that everything was like Jamaica, everything was calculating and the Jamaica money, everything is like more all. It was like an undoing of a process, like to get assimilated. So by 9/11, we just get a job now and focus. And then now, like, yeah, this man will do. And then we hear about it. But I promise you, looking at how Joe reacted, hearing Derek's pain, saw what it did to everybody that I was there with. Everybody stopped. And everybody knew that this was it. We're going to war.
Mm.
This is it. You touch one, you touch all. Irrespective of race or creed. Just like the boxer said, when I box, it's not a black American or a white American. It's an American when you're an Olympic participant. It's the same kind of mindset. And that kind of developed this patriotic kind of mindset.
Mhm.
And just going through and learning about what took place, it took me on the road.
And most importantly, and that is not black and white.
Mhm.
And that's what I'm fighting against. This idea that America is black and white. You know, the reason why I came to America was because it did not get that. Go ahead, Mr. President. Your
Are you
turn.
want to bring the callers?
Yes,
Okay.
please.
After Francis on the break. 1 second. Let me just greet Paul. Paul, good evening. How are you? Welcome to the show, sir. Constantine is on hold. You should be able to hear. How are you, buddy? I'm phenomenal. In matter of fact, I used to say I am fantabulous. Quick question. You're in New York right now, right? Right. What's the vibes like for 9/11 after so many years? Okay, maybe we're having one of those phone issues. Yes, yeah, what's feeling like about 9/11 in New York today, right now?
Well,
It's
you
been
know
a tough
something,
one. It's been a tough
I
one.
just want to say that I'm a believing psychiatrist, but I think that the whole of, I don't know if, I think we need to come to a spiritual healing, not a sexual healing, but a spiritual healing. Maybe what you call it they had in South Africa, truth and reconciliation of this whole matter.
Peter,
Well, I'm a study student of history, and I researched the power brokers of America and the world and see what they have to say. One of the biggest power brokers in America is the Rockefeller family. They fund the Council on Foreign Relations. Yes, 99% of people never heard of this country, never heard of this organization. They have think tanks, they have professors who plan scenarios and write scenarios and proposals and papers of what things should happen.
we have about 24 or
No,
22.
I'm going deeper than that. So the New World Order, the bombing of the World Trade Center, the medical system, the education system is all set up by Rockefellers.
And we're going to dig deeper into that, ladies and
And I have a
gentlemen.
quote from him.
We are going to dig deeper into that, ladies and gentlemen, after we take this break. So here's the deal. I, ladies and gentlemen, believe one of the reasons why the towers fell because when everybody are run down the stairs, the vibration and them a step on the stairs, and it really made the building collapse because the fire up top. Some people say bomb it, you know. But hear what me say, you just have my time to bleed out. If you mute the mic, then you can bleed out. So I believe when I run down the step and it's a shake, those vibrations contribute to the collapsing of the tower. I said it's a theory. I've never yet tested it in public. So there it is from the mouth of the president. So any engineers listening to the program, tell me if there's a probability that such a thing can happen. So come. We'll give you time to talk. You know, you have to make a point there. And, you know, all right, here we go. 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes, indeed. Coming back hot on the Good Evening, Mr. President show. Welcome. Dr. Rupert Francis in the house. Always making the house calls, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, right now, I don't know how you feel about 9/11, but for those of you who are just coming in off of work, what was the vibes like? What was the feeling? Paul is on the phone, or was on the phone, and he said, I think people put it behind them. I think people put it behind them. Because even me, today, I remember that the first couple of years, I used to always watch the ceremonies.
Mhm.
And, I would make sure that I did. I just had to because, I really felt that. But as time goes on, I just kind of don't observe it anymore. So I don't know,
I
if
think
I've lost any kind of patriotism there, or, it's just one of those things, it's lose its significance after a while. Our people are no longer afraid of terrorists. We got rid of Al Qaeda and we killed bin Laden.
but we have
Hmm.
ISIS.
But
But I think it's how you were affected by it, because as we think of persons who's lost their family members or had extension of that, or persons in the military, I know today at work I allow them to observe a moment of silence because, it's just like when you think of Pearl Harbor, the day that will live in infamy. If we forget these important things, they're doomed to reoccur. you
There's a
know,
there's a phrase called "lest we forget,"
lest we
and
forget.
and the
Absolutely.
puppy did because of "lest we forget," and it's very very important. I sometimes honestly don't have that impact that because it cannot be healthy if you have that impact all the time. That means that you're carrying a serious burden.
Unless probably you lost someone and that
Yes.
is their
Mm.
the anniversary of their death,
Yes.
tragically. And you never say
Or a friend or
goodbye.
that, yes. But
Because something you never get to say goodbye and just rough. Peter, what's your thought on that?
I saw the plane and I saw it on the television, the plane when it said. However, my daughter was in school in New York at the time, at Long Island. According to what she told me, all the students cried and they gave them some time off from reading and then they go home. So it was not really a pleasant situation then.
it couldn't have been. It couldn't have been a
So
pleasant
where were
situation.
you? You said you
I
were
was
in
in Queens, New York.
Queens, New York. Okay. What were you doing? I mean, the moment
I
your
was not
phone,
working at that day.
the moment your phone, though.
Somebody called me and said, watch the TV, the World Trade Center is involved.
Okay. And you knew the World Trade Center,
Yes,
what
I
it
knew.
symbolized. Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
I've never been there, obviously.
Yes,
Yeah, well,
I've been there.
I've been there. I've been in Manhattan all over. By that time, in fact, I go there. Go ahead.
Yeah, right. Good evening, sir. Welcome to the program. Thank you so much for holding. While we're trying to figure out what's happening with Nigeria.
Yeah, man,
Talk to me. What's up, man?
Hello? Hello? I'm on the radio. Hello? Yes. Hello? Yeah, who's this? Okay. Yeah, okay. Let me find out. Let me get back to you because let me get back to you, will you? I know what you're calling about, but let me get back to you. Okay. Oh, listen. Okay. Okay.
Roger, Roger. A lot of people feel like, a lot of what happened with weapons of mass destruction, terrorist attack, a lot of these things were fabricated, and a lot of innocent Americans died as a result of oil hungry, corrupt politicians and elected leaders. No, as a person who is sworn to defend, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States of America, it's the Constitution that is the living document that all of us decide that wherever that say, and it we say, right? you ever heard, maybe I should say this way, have you ever heard the voice of anyone of the soldiers that was under your supervision or you came in contact felt as if they were fighting a vain war and they really weren't in support of it, but because they were compelled to do it, they just had to do it. Have you ever gotten any of that violence?
Well, speaking personally, and I served in the Marine Corps, I did know that, not the Army, but the Marines, we have a honorary post that we have. We're called to do a mission, but we don't question why. The general can tell us to jump off that mountain, and we'll do it. I mean, because that's what we train for. We train to run through a building and do what we need to do. So no one on my command or under my summary never said that we went in there and we weren't told, the information. Because whatever we're told in terms of what we're told, all we were told based on the intel is that we were under attack and we were going to respond. And the response that we did was to make sure Americans were safeguarded, that we will not be ever attacked with the soil ever again. Of course, we got 9/11, we got trauma.
Yeah, but
So our training as a Marine, I can't speak about the other Marines, my training as a Marine is to defend Americans, defend Americans wherever they're at, and to make sure that anybody that attacks America realizes that we will retaliate, and that's what we do.
yeah,
So, of course, other information came up afterwards, but I'm just saying initially, what we went in for is to make sure that Americans are protected.
oh, okay, Roger, I want to thank you for your service and all of those brave men out there. But you mentioned that the Marine and not the Army. My brother, the Army came before the Marines. Just don't forget that, okay? Just want to let you know that.
That is true.
Yes, it is true. But what I'm saying, and there's no difference with Army, Air Force, Navy personally. Once you've served, because there are persons who don't believe in serving, and as the president said, that we are patriots. I ask myself the question: if you don't like America, what the hell are you doing here? And I don't take it back. I don't take it back because, as far as I am concerned, there are problems everywhere in this human race and in this world. There are problems, but honestly, though, I wonder, and I'm very concerned at this point in time, the direction in which the United States is going, in fact, and and many other countries to do, but in particular because I don't see a lot of people clamoring to go to North Korea. I don't see a lot of people clamoring to go to any other country but the United States of America. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was saying the previous thing. I'm just going to read a quote from Mr. Rockefeller. The present window of opportunity during which truly peaceful and interdependent world order might be built will not be open for too long. We are on the verge of global transformation. All we need, very important, listen carefully now. All we need is the right major crisis, and the nations will accept the new world order.
Can I respond to that now? Because, here's the situation. I don't know why we give so much umbrage to Rockefellers and the rich people in this world.
I can tell you.
No, 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 no. Hold on. I don't want anybody to tell me. I'm going to tell you what I am going to tell you because I want to tell you. And so I want you to understand that as long as we believe that we are slaves, as long as you believe that we have no future, as long as you believe that we have no power, then these people will be able to hold that above us. You see what is happening in Africa? Whether you like it or not, when I'm here or not, it's going to happen because it should happen. Because if you understand the history of this world, you will understand that the strong has always came from the weak or the people they perceive to be weak. So it's about time we stop being weak and take our rightful place in this world.
But I think what he's trying to say is, Herbert Hoover said, older men declare war, but young men are the ones who fight and die. So I think that's what he's trying to echo when he's saying, there is a think tank of persons coming up with idea which may lead, and I say may lead to some of these circumstances.
Lakeisha, he served 7 presidents, and there's a reason why. He is a master, and he was not perfect, and there's still a building named after him.
And the dam.
And whatever, I don't know about the dam dam, about the dam. But the fact of the matter, we're talking about the building and the
Mhm.
people in it who will swear by him. But let me make it quite clear. And I have to say that you have to give people kudos in this world, no matter whether you like them or not.
Mhm.
But so long as you believe that people are lesser than anywhere in the world, I don't care what they look like.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, if you just joined us, welcome to Good Evening, Mr. President. It is 9/11, and we are asking the question today, where were you when the world stopped turning that September 8th? Now, for those of you who are an avid country western fan, you know I will have just quoted a lyric from a song that I binged on. Maybe that is why I feel like this. But it's an important question. Where were you when the world stopped turning? And you know what? I'm gonna play that song for you because I'm try to understand what I said. It's a really, really great song, Nashika. And I'm gonna play it for the version there. No, all right. On the line, I still have Constantine and we have Roderick. Gentlemen, I have two lines. Bugger people call them and never push it. None of them because to you guys bring value. But we're gonna go free up the line a little bit so that other people can get out of the squeeze for the program. So we know it's our go already, but I'm gonna give both of you an opportunity to make any final thoughts. Roderick, I'm gonna ask you to go first, and then you can hop off, and then afterward, Constantine, stay back a little and free up the line.
Well, back in the straight, which I'm back to, we should never forget the fact that all the men in the war, all the ones that are trained, all the ones that are, okay, that are, will
Sorry, my brother. Sorry. Oh, we can't wait on that. Yeah, man, tough point. Constantine, you still there?
A movie, yeah,
Yeah.
right, yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right.
All right.
Hold on. We know you have the answer. The second time I asked it. But hold on, I did some research after night. No. Hold on. Oops. Ladies and gentlemen, I need to do this. I need to do this. Here we go. The views expressed on this program are those of its host and callers and does not reflect the views of this station, its management, or any other on-air personality. I made my disclaimer, did I?
Yes, you did.
Did
Lord,
I make
what's
a
coming?
disclaimer, sir?
Not for me.
Not for you, you go on, man. No, I read some papers from the House, from two or three committees, that asked a question.
Uh-huh.
A black congressman asked a question on the floor of the U.S. House. Why is it that when all planes were grounded, that Saudi nationals, including Bin Laden's family, was able to get on a plane and fly in U.S. airspace today after 9/11? Now, did I say the question was asked on the floor of the government of America?
Mm-hmm.
No. So, if I come up for the record and ask a question like that, be known to a congressman that whatever you ask, you must be able to substantiate that because this is now going to enter into the history book and the legislative acts for that particular whatever
Date
number
and time.
Congress that was at
Yes.
the time.
Mm-hmm.
No. Constantine is asking the question, who were the perpetrators of 9/11. And people say, why were Saudi nationals able to fly on a plane? And others say, no, it's the bigger boys, the master puppeteers. They use grand delusion and misguide your thoughts. So when you think you think one and you think, they lift you back with another one, and it was like, we do this all day, every day. We're the master tacticians. So these elite guys are so above our mind and our pay grade that they can be manipulating everything we do right now. And we think so we are talking about 9/11 and that them. I can show you even more what I said. No, that one rough. I really do believe that. So deep. Now, who, Constantine, were the perpetrators as you see?
Oh, is that it?
Oh my God. You remember the question,
All right.
I could answer
Can I?
that. I think I
No,
could
no,
answer
no, no.
that.
Peter, hold on a second.
I think I could answer
Peter, hold on a
Constantine,
second.
can't believe it, Constantine.
No, 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 no. He will be back. But let me say this, Peter. Just a moment. I want to hear you, but I want to respond. Mr. President, it is quite clear that the nature of how America was at the time, none of the areas, the police, the border patrol, were speaking to each other.
Well, true.
They were not together. It is a matter of fact. They were not together. Now, the question should have asked, perhaps, or the guy should have asked, who was on that plane in that Saudi plane going away that next morning?
Mm-hmm.
No, 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 no.
The manifest never revealed all the names.
Okay,
But there were people on the manifest.
but the point I'm trying to make is that's the key. Now, the question is there a relationship between those persons and 9/11 or not? I understand that there are conspiracy theories out there and theories out there, but I'm looking from it from a more tactical, militaristic point of view. And I'm saying to you, who did it benefit? That's a
You
question.
think Ben Laden orchestrated an attack like this, go to the whole thing, go to the whole school, work on these guys, make them assimilate in society.
Absolutely.
And then when the time was right,
Absolutely.
communication to them and say,
Absolutely.
time to strike. And here's what we're going to do.
Absolutely.
No, there was some
Absolutely.
planning. There was some planning because you know what happened?
Absolutely.
They went after the power centers. They went after the power centers.
Absolutely.
They went after the power centers. They went after the World Trade Center. Then they wanted to go to the White House, I think.
And they were heading
And
to
they
the
were
Pentagon.
heading to the, no, they touched the Pentagon, right?
Yes,
Pentagon,
yes, they
they
did
got
the
through.
Pentagon.
On
Yes,
piece,
yes.
I think they can get
Yes.
touched. Right? Yeah, yeah. So, no, no. There's one man, when they come on to 9/11, they're going to say, yo, all this conspiracy theories are a bunch of baloney. But Paul, I could be wrong. But what is your thought? Who perpetrated the 9/11 attacks? Hold on. Give the intro. Give the intro. Intro time. Are you ready? Hold on, Paul. Come on, give me the intro on my show. Ladies and gentlemen, we have entered into Paul's wheelhouse. Here we go. As he twists and spins you from a scientific, but can it be a proven approach? And now, none other than Paul. Okay, so they miscalculate then. The man when I press the button for the bomb, kind of miss it. Because the plane lick it. He said, boom, and lick up everything one time. But then I say, yo, man, miss it now, man, miss it now. We never there now. And then they say, all right, you ready, you ready. And he just want to go a little bit. And then he said, all right, when the next one come, just time it. So the next one come, it took a while before they come now. Peter, you know the wheelhouse though.
Well, the way I see it, as we were talking about the puppeteers, I think it's just a matter of puppet and puppeteers. And to Dr. Francis' note, he was saying, before there's any war, there's a psyops operation. The psychological team going, analyze the situation, assess the situation, and start to use a lot of propaganda before any war begins. And you know that the art of war, son too. You know that. So when you talk to me, just look for your laugh.
No, well, say Marcus Garvey talk about propaganda. So when we start studying Marcus Garvey next month, we're going to look at how Marcus Garvey determined. Maybe we should start with propaganda. That couldn't be that. I mean, I never have a phone on while the show of war, and these are the principles and so we have to obey.
Yeah.
Put them aside.
Mr. President, I watched the planes land several times, and I did not see any reciprocal, what you call it, I hate to disagree with my brother Paul, going down.
Memories, I say,
let me tell you something. When the tower fell, it did not fall boom, boom, boom. It fell down. You understand me? It fell down, and you apply heat to steel. Nobody remember that. And remember that each floor is welded together basically with steel, right? And I'm not an engineer, but from what I saw, it was bam, it was like it's just but these.
So you think it implode on itself?
Exactly. And I'm saying it was calculated.
Paul say it defied the law of physics.
No, it does not. It does not.
Because, hold on. All right. Let's say. So, there was a client of mine. They are, they represented the steel workers in a certain district. Right? That's the most I can say about that. But they represent steel workers. So, in his office, the president, he has this big picture. And it's a very popular picture too. Some steel workers sitting on a beam over New York City. I'm sure most people have probably seen that when we talk about steel workers, right?
Indians mainly were the ones who
so irrespective. But the point is, I'm thinking, if you stack up steel per steel and grow steel per steel, and then you kind of lay them up like you build, kill everything except me. Yeah, if you go stack up the steel them and screw them in one another and all of that. So now, let's say you build an H and then you build it go up H. You build it go up, right? And then you fill it in with block and floor levels and all of that. And maybe it's slab, but then still have the beam, but then build a slab around it and then kind of reinforce it and kind of. I don't know, I'm not an engineer. But what I'm thinking, because if we go a little bit deeper, you're running down the step, can that cause a building to come down, or is it a bomb?
I don't know.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is an interesting question. But where were you when the world stopped turning that September day? So go.
Let me tell you something. The impact of the running down, I don't know. That's one of the.
You really think it's vibration? You really think it's
I
vibration?
think what the missile
No.
Because now with the steel, you see the steel, you make a compelling argument with the steel.
Well, let me
You can incinerate steel. Let's say like 2,000 Fahrenheit. What Fahrenheit does the steel melt? And by the way, when steel melts, one to the ore, one to the rest of it, when it melts out, when steel there.
it doesn't go down. That's happened in the world.
But no, hold on a second. If you melt steel, can steel be just shredded into infinity? Or it
No, it's burned like it just water out like all you water out, just flat down like when it burns.
So the burn the substance of the steel,
It's the fluid, yes.
one metal You have
I
a
know
whole
better,
thing.
no man. Remember saying when the burn steel, when the steel burn it in a
When you
fire,
smelter,
we have
when
a
you
cool it, we
smelter
have a
steel,
cool it.
what temperature can steel be smelted? No,
I'm,
look it
I'm
up. When you
3000.
look when you
looking,
on
I'm
break.
looking.
Okay, let's see how look it up. What temperature is steel smelted?
What you
3000 degrees
was
Fahrenheit.
saying that okay,
2005 to 2000.
See that?
2005 to
Yes,
2800.
exactly. But tell them I remember it. It was calculated, Mr. President, it was calculated. Right?
2,500?
2005 to 2008. So I'm
2000 to
looking at the
3000.
temperature 9/11. You're on.
Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Good Evening, Mr. President. Yeah, what I try to continue to let's leave right. So what I try to bring forward broadcasting excellence. So I perfect the thing, but make it nice, guys. It's worth the time you take to listen. Like so many of you. Oh my goodness. I haven't even looked at the chat. I'm in so much trouble. I'm in so much trouble. I wasn't even looking at the chat, guys. My sincerest apologies. And so, Nashika, you see, though, a different seat. And you make sure I am so serious. You're under the bus. But we're not going to up the bus for you.
Wait a second.
I'm going to be
You gave a specific assignment, and none of the assignment was to check the chat.
If you're sitting in the golden chair, you have to maintain the chat, the phone, and pretty much everything
Mr.
else.
President, back up. Hard and pull up, Mr. President. That's nothing to do with Nikisha. It has everything. What you trying to knock me out for? Everything to do with you. You should have remembered. And you didn't remember. So, apologize.
Thanks, Dr. Francis.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for missing the chat. It is my responsibility. I take full responsibility for not paying close attention. And with that, I'm going to set some special love for you.
Thank you, Mr. President. The first time ever, hopefully it happens more times.
You're good. Carla. Carla the Charmer. Big up yourself, Carla the Charmer. That's a nice name. Carla the Charmer. She said it's a sorry. Do you believe that? She said billions of taxpayer dollars went into fighting a BS war. Strong word. That's not so charming. And why were the Saudis allowed to fly when all other flights were grounded? That's the question people are asking. And it's an important question. And we still have Paul and I'll come back to you soon. Now, we are sold a bill of goods. There was no weapon of mass destruction. Thousands of our troops lost their lives over a lie. A lie repeated over and over again is still a lie. That's our expression. Now, Peter, this sounds exactly like what you would think would be a fair assessment. That billions of dollars spent, thousands of lives lost over a lie. But what's the lie? We were bombed, the buildings fell, and people died.
let me explain something to you. Dr. Kissinger, when he started the war, when it was country down in South Vietnam, so that region, he manufactured and said the country attacked the American boats, which was a total lie. years since it was established that it did not have a war. So we are a country of war. So what this person was saying, in my opinion, is that I was reading some research that said some professors at Princeton did a research and find out that if somebody who lives in America earns over $75,000 a year, they take a lot of stress off of them and their families, and the way they live, and high blood pressure and diabetes can be reduced. And I'm saying that's what this person right now. So let's say if a lot of those money was spent back and rebuild America.
And we have to build a society that's a socialist
Mr.
society.
No, no, it's not a socialist.
Because you love, you have this communist
Yeah.
business boy, you know.
No.
You want to have a socialist society. You want to have a communist,
No.
Karl Marxist. Hold on. Your Marxist ideology. Your Marxist ideology. Your Marxist ideology has no place in America in the modern world.
Excuse me, please. What do you think is an airport? What do you think is a school? What do you think is a road?
A
That's
Marxist
socialism.
ideology?
That's socialism. Excuse me.
So
Everybody
so
go there and collect to get the airport, to get the roads, to get the bridges.
I call those infrastructure. I call those transportation hubs and learning centers. That transportation hubs and learning centers.
Listen, we're gonna solve this right now. I am buying a ticket for me to go to North Korea.
Not a rat.
No. And any other country
So
right now.
where you want to go? Where you want to go?
He said he was socialist, but not that socialist.
I'm not that social. No one is.
Let me say something. There was socialism before European existed. In Africa, if somebody dead and the wife is there with women and children, the society makes sure that woman is living and the children is taken care of. That is what I'm speaking of. Not Karl Marx. Long before Karl Marx existed. Thousands of years before he existed.
Let me explain something.
So when you come with this socialism business, it's nonsense.
No.
All right, hold on. Never try a thing. Don't move. We have the great lion. I don't know if that will work, but we have the great lion. I'll say if him can come through. Lion, you can't hear me? Nah, hear me.
I just want to say.
No, you know what? Because I'm making hear me now. Don't move, lion. We're coming back to you, Michelle. Coming back to it. But go ahead.
I just, in love and war, there's always some degree of compromise. But the fact of the matter is that we have to understand that you can't eat we should have the saying, we can't eat your cake and you still have it. And here you have a situation. There are always elements of taking care of your society, and you want to call it ism or schism, it doesn't matter. But there are good people out there, and there are bad people. Okay, there are bad people. The question is, how do we identify the good and how do we identify the bad? In this case of war has been perpetrated from eons up to now. And we know why people made war. It's called Wane, Wakey. I came, I saw, I conquered. The Romans perfected it, etc., etc. So what I'm trying to say to you is that we need to find a way to avert war and to put that funds and that funding into infrastructure. It's not socialism.
Paul. So if it's not the air jet fuel, and they say it was a fuel from the jet because it was they burn. No, Nashika, what temperature does steel is smelter?
It says 2,500 to 2,800 degrees.
Okay, so 2,500 to 2,800 degrees. Steel is smelter. Hold on.
3,000.
The average fire when we cook food pan, middle pass 500, right?
No, I was actually looking to see if there was any record of
So
that.
hold on. So if we did, let's say we did 500, the pot where when you burn you, and it literally the same fire can melt, burn anything
Just
pretty
double
much.
it, just double it.
Double it. So we
Oh
have to go
my
5
God,
times.
triple it.
Yeah, 5 times. So we say 2,500 to 2,800.
Brethren,
So what temperature? What are Paul may talk to? Paul, you're saying that the towers were bombed. But even if they were bombed, what would be able to melt the steel at such high rate of fire?
Okay, I'm
Yeah. But, yeah. Okay, hold on, Todd. All right. Two little ground rules. We have to land the plane, but we will give you 90 seconds. Just me alone. But I want it to be short, concise. You can spare us explanation. We just want to get some quick, rapid answer to a series of successive questions, which commencing immediately. Number one, let's say that special chemical that you have was somehow involved to be planted ahead of time in the building and actually in the structure where the beams are, and these guys would have to go to the core of the building and make sure them apply that chemical or run it through, I don't know how they get to the spine of all those steel beams, but hypothetically they did. And it's like this great covert thing and no one knew anything about it. It's so cool. Now, let's say you have that happen. No, when that chemical slides through it, I'm thinking that if you burn or melt iron, it's gonna melt into a molten kind of version of itself. Like once it becomes liquefied, then somehow when heat is removed, it hardens. That's all I'm thinking of. And maybe I'm wrong because I'm by no means an expert. I am good at tech, but not with this type of discipline. No. So where would all that steel be? That's really the question. Where would all that steel would have gone?
No.
That is true.
Okay. No, no, no. Hold on. Sorry, Paul. I want you to give me the evidence because some of the
Hold on, yeah, you follow. You can't use follow it.
no, no, no.
But
I
in
want you
fairness,
to
we still
give me
hear
the
you.
evidence
Oh yeah,
that
yeah, true
suggests
enough.
that well, there's
Yeah,
still
but
there's
hold on, yeah.
hold on. There's still standing right at ground zero. What? Yes, there is.
Everything is shipped
No,
to China.
No,
no.
no.
First of all,
There's
guys,
some.
hold on.
Right.
May I support you? A lot of the pieces of the steel around 9/11, there's one plant I know
Yes.
played
Yes.
here.
Yes.
Yeah, planted all over.
Yes.
So they ship them around the country. So Paul is right. There was some shipment of steels that
Yes.
happened, but
Mm-hmm.
I know
Mm-hmm.
almost every city capital and multiple places within those cities, they have a piece of the steel from the towers
Yeah.
that they have. So
And they have some of
I know
those.
where some of the steel went.
Okay.
That I know, and I've
So,
seen
so,
it
so, 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 hold on,
myself.
hold on. Let
So
me see.
hold on. But Paul is me and Paul is a reason. Man. Just come take over the thing.
No,
Me and Paul reason.
but you know, come
Me
on,
know,
man.
me know you say a foolishness matter. But make him point.
I mean, it's not foolishness no
But
matter.
make the man make
But me,
him
I say,
point. The man make him
there's
point.
conspiracy theory, and then there's
I
theories
love
that
that
you can't
word.
explain.
I love that word.
Okay,
I
alright.
love that word.
Whoa. Nah, I'm not gonna let them with me. Not at all. Alright, Paul, last question. So, if the steels were shipped to China and somehow in the middle of the night they hide it and they send one and two piece across the country. Just as a little, just trick the people there, so to speak, right? No problem. If by some means they shipped it to China, what would they benefit from selling off scrap material? Or is it that China wanted steel so bad that they would rather burn down American village just to get steel to do what? I mean, I don't know why shipping the steel to China would be that important. It's going to be a final point. You have 45 seconds to make it. Go ahead.
Right.
No, hold on. Remember, you have 45 seconds, and it's all. But that's a common thing for people to do construction in the building. All right, Carla, go ahead. You're live with the president. Talk to me.
There's a couple of things. If you remember the Titanic, okay, the steel they used, they found that even the steel on the Titanic had weaknesses. So with the rivets, they found weaknesses. Now there's so much to unravel when it comes to 9/11 about the construction of the towers and the metals that they use and stuff, and where he, where he combust metal. All right. I mean, you have two Olympic days to try to explain 9/11. But there was weaknesses in the power points of the towers. They were saying that it swayed. There were weaknesses in the metal. Now there is people that were key witnesses that were law enforcement that they heard detonators go off, which is the whole conspiracy side. But they were saying that there was, there was demolition put into the towers.
All right, that's a very, very good point. Appreciate love it. Thank you guys, both of you. I'm gonna drop both of you. Thank you all for. All right, ladies and gentlemen, 561-4498,000. That's it. I dropped both of those calls. We have to land it, please. No, this is wrapping up time. And it's gonna be a final 60 seconds. Yeah, who has 60 seconds here, sir? Ladies and gentlemen, Peter will use 60 seconds to explain his theory and hope we all get the truth according to Peter.
Right. According to the way I see it, is that no guys from Saudi Arabia could come with this kind of logistics. This kind of require deep military intelligence and planning, and some bushwhackers in Saudi Arabia come blow up the plane. It's total nonsense to me. Next thing to address Dr. Francis is talk about conspiracy theory. That term, as I see it, was developed long ago and recently used by the CIA to discredit other people. That is my case.
All right, that's wicked. Now we're gonna move over to the one and lovely Nashika. No, it's 9/11. You're wearing it ready. You came with a chair ready to lead on somebody. I mean, or bring your chair to have a seat at the table. What's your summary of today's questions and answers? And as a co-host, you get whole of 90 seconds to yourself, girl. Your boss.
Okay, so lots of things were discussed today. We talked about walking with the chair, but I want to go back to something that occurred locally here in Palm Beach County. Really surprised we did not speak about the history making move of Coco Gauff this weekend. And it's not about the fact that she won. Yes, she won. Yes, she's one of the youngest female tennis stars. But what's important history making thing that happened this weekend is that finally, a female athlete was paid comparative to what a male counterpart would have been paid. This young lady got paid $3 million for her amazing win. So congratulations, right out of Palm Beach County. The last thing I want to, is it time for bun out or sell
Yeah,
out
man,
or
yeah,
duke out and run out or, you know, Palm Beach County once again has the opportunity to make history. So attorney Alicia Cox, will be running for state attorney for Palm Beach County. She will be the first black female state attorney right out of Palm Beach County. So she has the opportunity to make history. Look out for her, support her campaign wherever you can.
All right, Dr. Rupert, sir.
I
Your
want to,
90 seconds.
yeah, thank you. But I want to mention, go to Nikisha. How didn't you remember the history-making LGBTQ city that was formed in Lake Worth just last week? Yeah, the first LGBTQ plus. We don't know what the plus means yet. Right in Lake Worth. I'll give you that to think about. No more answer. It don't
Winston
make no
Leonard,
sense. What?
Broward County. It's not the first.
No, sir. This is the first in the history of the state. Let's move on. When you fry an egg, you don't know. This is to Peter and his conspiracy theorist friends. You don't know where the egg is going to pop. You don't know it's going to hit you because I've had fried thrown back in my face. And let me make it quite clear. It is. They have proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that there were people training in the United States to put those planes exactly where they were supposed to go. The evidence is clear. But the key quiet, please, Mr. Socialist. And the word part about it is that none of the agencies were speaking to each other. This is not so now. And that's the reason why we are in this quagmire today. So I just want you to understand. Let's get out of that. Let us understand. There are wicked, dirty, and wicked people in this world who want to annihilate you. And they did it with children. They burn up buses. They burn up places. They burn up synagogues. They burn up here. And so I don't know why you're sitting here and pretending that this is not happening. Yes, there were Saudis there, and there were former members of the families of them, and what have you. Bin Laden was. Millions of dollars he spent. Okay? So let us make it quite clear. There are evil people in this world. And all I'm saying is, that is what happened on 9/11. And we must never, ever dishonor their memory again by saying it was not so. That's my view.
Boy, the man, sell it, boy, man. I tell you, hey, listen. No, I think if ChatGPT learned to absorb Dr. Rupert Francis' speeches, I think I could go to ChatGPT and say, write a closing statement for your radio show in the voice of Dr. Rupert A. Francis. I think ChatGPT will do a fairly decent job. No, ladies and gentlemen, everybody got their time to speak, and it's my opportunity now to close off today's program. First and foremost, I would really love your feedback. I want to thank you guys for everything. You know, what I'm trying to do is trying to raise the profile of a Jamaican program where a man can say, oh, the program unprofessional, the program value, the program this and the program. And even if so, would I use that, observation to polish what we do? Because the ultimate goal, ladies and gentlemen, is to present you with a magazine program every Monday evening from 4 to 6 p.m. And in this program, we talk about it. And there are a lot of little strategies that we put in place behind the scene, and there are some things that we're trying to do to fine tune. But I want you to work with us because at the end of the day, the main thing is to present something that's worth your time listening. Because you could be listening to something else, but you support this program and you've made it your favorite program. And I know someone will miss it for none. Respect, maximum agenda, maximum embrace. Someone big up all of the wonderful people them on the chat who keep it good. Carla the Charmer, Fabulous the General, big up yourself, Miss Palm Beach, David Bless, Lisa, the whole team. So good evening, Z, Jamaica, New York, Miss, whatever the name, Miss Palm Beach, yeah, yeah, yeah. So everybody, and big up Glassos, Nikki, Crypto Millionaire Regina, big up yourself, big up yourself, big up yourself. Crypto Millionaire, so we are still right here in West Palm Beach, true. Yeah, yeah, right here in Wellington. That me know me, Jenna, really. So, Dr. Francis is dropping bomb. Rick Box up and up, my general. Hey, we need to finish the project, and Peter asleep on the job, I understand But we need to finish the project. I will just been sitting on this with our hands tied. So, Mr. Rick Boss, sir, reporting to duty, report to duty. We need to finish the mission. It's important, all right? So, big up everybody. Lisa, thank you as always. I want to say thank you, everybody out there. But let me just um, say that 9/11 for me has been very difficult. I talk about 9/11 preparing for Gilbert. I was going to be 12 years old when Gilbert was on his way to Jamaica. Because when you're 12, you're a big man. I say, yeah. No, the thing about 12 with me now is a little tricky, but the three initials, Lincoln, Leonard, Lewis, and the 12 letter alphabet. So I'm like a 12ness for the 12th tribe and a few other things. But we didn't want to mention that because me have to go a little deeper in my spirit to even explain my affinity with that, though, with the 12. Nonetheless, so I was going to be 12 years old. What I can tell you though, after this time, I want to remember one man especially that bridging on me, no, respect my father, and we used to gamble, we had a gambling house at the back of the house. We were building, and gambling, going to sell bull and them to something and beer and through the window. We had some louver window them time. But we have a deep freezer and a shop and a cabinet in the house. So my father had a gambling house. Normal house, everybody knew him from upstairs at Dixie. A long time we were a gambling house. And nonetheless, remember, when the storm come and the storm catch the house and roll it and jack up the house. Now, that was our thing. But the day before, remember, we do everything because it's a what will happen. We zinc up the window there and try everything. How I say this, that time I come in and say, I'm going to nail on the zinc them and we run the house and we nail up everything and lock in. That was my first 9/11. The next one was in 2009/11 when I came to America. The third 9/11 for me was 2001. I was on Jupiter Island when the towers fell. And then today is also 9/11. 23 years I've been here in this country. America has been good to me, ladies and gentlemen. And I never born here, but I benefit from here. Still, I say Africa, like Gavi, but I still have to appreciate what I did and the opportunity to even talk to them on the radio like this. So I'm not going to America. I support America, stand up for the truth. And let me tell you something, it was a hard time. A lot of people lost loved ones. Remember one day that we church, Sister Sonia, she talked about it all the time. She was in the tower the day. And every time she did at church and she talked about it, cold bomb run, I want to tell you the details. And how she got away and she flagged down the taxi man. She said she didn't know like God send him. And the man scoop her up. And she said she jump on and she said, anything I leave New York, everybody I up and everything I leave New York, there's about millions of people, are scrambling like a rat hole, where you call the subway in the bridge. Levels and vehicles and in the bridge, them, and everything else. Where people are dealing with, people are panic and they don't know if the next one come, they don't know what will happen. So it was rough. So give thanks. And right now, as we close the program, we give thanks and praise unto the Most High, is omnipotent and true. Ever live it, ever sure. He's King of Kings and Lord of Lords. He's conquering Lion of the tribe of Judah. His name is Jesus. And if you love him, praise his name. Hallelujah. Blessings. Until we meet again, keep it locked to Super Jams Radio. This has been another episode of Good Evening, Mr. President.
From Roots of